Hey, thanks for joining me today for episode number 78 of Podcasting Your Brand. I'm your host, producer Jemmy, providing learning lessons for you to podcast your brand. And today I'm going to bring you my next Podcasting 102 topic, extras for your audience and you. This episode is brought to you by my own brand, Flintstone Media. Listen in and let's do this. First, starting with one of my daily tips.
Hey, it's producer Jemmy here, and the episode that dropped today of Podcasting Your Brand, episode 66, had a conclusion that led me to today's tip for you. So one of the conclusions of that episode, getting your listeners to listen all the way through, was that one of the ways you get them to come back is by delivering on the value that you've promised. So if you tease up something at the beginning of the episode, you have to deliver on that value, and if you do that, you create a trust bond and people keep coming back. But there are other ways to keep people coming back as well. So here are a few ideas. You can tease up your future content. So you can say things like, make sure you don't miss any episodes this month, because this month we're going to keep focusing on blah, blah, blah. You can also say, let's say you're in the middle of doing an episode and there's a moment where you could have taken a tangent and done its own deep dive into something that could be its own episode. Well, just plan for that to be its own episode and say that in the show. Say, hey, I could take a really deep dive right now on this, but we're going to do that on a future episode. You can also say things like, well, what's coming up on the very next episode? So if you know you have a guest, what your topic is, you can mention that is going to be the very next episode. So by giving those little teases about the future content, you can keep people coming back to your show. But keep coming back here every day, podcastingyourbrand.com for more tips. I'm producer Jemmy.
So be sure that you are following me and subscribing everywhere that I am on social media so you don't miss any of my daily tips. That's Instagram, it's TikTok, YouTube, wherever I am, you should be too. So you get all of my tips and you get them first. And another place that I am that you should be is in one of my workshops. That's a live interactive experience with me. So if you're launching your show or you want to level up your show, if you go to toppodcastworkshop.com, you can work with me live and you can do that. And it's a phenomenal additional resource, which is perfect to mention today. So let's think about what are some additional resources that you can provide to your listeners, not only to increase the value and benefit for them being your listener and coming back every week or every other week or whatever to listen and tune in, but also, how can these extras be beneficial for you as well in growing your own brand? Let's explore with these extras for your audience. So way back on episode 46, one of the things that I talked about on that episode called It's All About Your Listeners was how to get people to listen all the way through to your episodes. And one of the tips that I shared was about teases, using teases appropriately and strategically to get people to listen all the way through, but it's also to get people to come back. Well, on episode 46, I said in a future episode, I'm going to take a deeper dive into additional resources for your listeners. Well, guess what? We are at that episode. It only took us, 32 episodes later to get there, but we have finally arrived. So let's discuss 4 different extras that you can provide for your audience, how to share those extras, and also what opportunities that sharing those extras can actually provide for you. Oh my gosh, it's so great. So, all right, first up, PDFs that you can create. So for example, you can create a PDF that is a top list of something. So your top 3 ways that you can do this, or 7 ways to do that, or 6 places to go if you're looking for blah, 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 blah. Whatever list you can create that would be of value to your audience, put that in a PDF. Just open up a Word doc or whatever, save it as a PDF. Okay. So that's what to do. Now, how to do it is you create the PDF, then you make it downloadable. You're going to want to save it onto some sort of shared drive. Now, it could be a private drive like your website server or something like that. But then the link you create for it just needs to be able to be shareable and publicly available. So if someone has that link, they can get to it. So if you can set that up right on your website server, fantastic. Otherwise, you can also use Google Drive. There's Dropbox. There's OneDrive. There's like a plethora of file sharing services out there. So just set up your PDF, your list, create the PDF, make it a downloadable thing, then load it up to one of these servers and then grab that link. Okay. Then you can put that link in your show notes or on your website somewhere. But what you're going to be doing is collecting emails from your for a mailing list. So what you do is, let's say on your website or in your show, here's how you're going to do it. In your show, you're going to say, for my top 5 favorite things to do for this, I have a PDF for you. You can download it today at my blah, blah, blah.com website. So when they go to your blah, blah, blah.com website, there's a little form, a little tiny little form. All it asks for is their name and their email address, or maybe just their email address, whatever, it's up to you. But their name and their email address. Then when they send you that information, when they fill that out and they hit the submit button, what you're going to do now is on the confirmation screen for that very simple, hi, I want to join and be part of this thing form, I want to get this PDF, then all you have to do is on the confirmation screen, once they have filled out the form and hit submit, that's where you put the link. So they don't get the link unless they've filled out the form, because it appears on the confirmation screen. So in your show, you say, if you want to get the form, go to blah, blah, blah.com. They go to blah, blah, blah.com. They fill out the form. They hit submit. You get their email address into your mailing list and they get your PDF into their hands, and they're a very happy camper. And so are you, because now you're increasing your mailing list with somebody who's clearly already an engaged listener. So such a great benefit. Collecting your emails for your mailing list is such an important, crucial way to grow your audience. But not to drop another tease here, we'll get into that in a future episode. Okay, the second thing you can do besides a downloadable PDF is a landing page of resources. So for example, it might be a group of data sources like market research or scientific studies that have to do with your topic. And those can be some evergreen go-tos. So you set up a landing page on your website that has those resources where you know your audience is constantly going to need this. So let's say you are an eviction lawyer. So maybe it's something with eviction, downloadable forms or something like that, or resources, information, whatever it is. Or it can be information about you or some products that you have or tools that you think that your audience would really benefit if they could get their hands on them. Whatever that extra stuff is, if you create a landing page for it, again, it could be sources, like links to other outside sources for research and those kinds of things. It could be information about you. So if you go to Flintstone Media, this is an example, go to flintstonemedia.com/Jemme, Jaime, that'll land you on a landing page full of stuff about me. All right. All this extra stuff. And also, if you go to flintstonemedia.com/Owl app, 2 W's, 2 L's, that is my landing page for the Owl app. So people can go there to download, get all the information. And I've referenced it so many times on this show, the Owl app and what it's about. So if people want that information, they hear me mention it in the show, then they go to the website and the information is right there. Now, this is the benefit. Okay. There's 2 really. Not only does it increase your SEO, which is search engine optimization, or how high you come up in search when people are searching for your stuff. So when people are putting in a search term related to the topic of your show, how well does your show rank in those search results? That's search engine optimization. And if you have a page like this on your website full of these very sources that are really valuable and relatable to your topic, then Google says that's a really good website. Let me rank this a little bit higher. So that's one benefit. It can increase your SEO. The second benefit for having this landing page is that now if you also sign up for affiliate links for all of these products, so then all these tools that you say, hey, I love these. These are great resources. This is a great page full of all the tools that I love. If you create affiliate links for yourself for those tools, that's extra pocket change. Every time someone then goes to your landing page of your favorite tools to make your workout at home easier, or your favorite tools for working at home easier, whatever it is, if you sign up. So I have affiliate links for Canva, for a few other places, OneSheet Pro. Those links are in my show notes. So people go there and I also have resources throughout my website where those favorite tools I'm affiliated with, and those are right there. So now people can click through that. Same thing would happen on your website if you set this up. So you get the affiliate link for whatever tool you like. You put a spot for that tool on your website. You mention that space on your website as a resource for all these extra things that your audience would love to have access to in one convenient place, and you drive them to that landing page. And that landing page generates clicks for you and therefore affiliate related pocket money. So it's good for SEO, good for affiliate links as well. The third thing that you can do as an extra for your audience is to send them to blogs and articles that you reference while you're giving your podcast. So it can be for additional information sources. So you just want to link directly to it through your show notes. So you've heard me probably say, if this is not your first episode listening to me so far, then you've heard me probably say many times over on this show, link is in the show notes. Okay, so let's say you find a really great research study on the benefits for sunscreen on your digestion. There's not going to be a study on that, but let's say you found that study and you brought it up in your podcast. We'll link to it in your show notes. It is extremely simple, right? But your audience will know that, hey, if I have a desire to take a deeper dive into this, I can. So that's good. And it's convenient. So thank you, dear host. I appreciate you. Love you. I'll be back. And the other benefit, all right, so it increases your SEO, increases your audience stickiness, all that kind of stuff. But if somebody else has written this article, if this is an article that you're linking to, and it's somebody who has a good resource for you over time. Let's say it's a blog that serves your audience in the same way, serves similar value that you do. So your show might be on having to do something with parenting. You find a blogger who does a great blog on parenting. That could actually be not just a great resource for you to link to every once in a while in your show notes, but you can actually reach out to that person who is generating that content on a different platform. And you can say, hey, would you like to be a content contributor? And now you're pitching an opportunity for them to say, I'm going to be continuing to generate these blog articles. I'm going to be sending you blog articles that I think would be great for your audience. Now you, as the host, receive that blog article. You reference it in your show. That person is paying you for that opportunity because they know that your audience is their audience and you're going to drive traffic to their blog on a continuous basis. And because they're going to be gaining exposure to your audience, the same core audience over and over and over again, which makes your audience much more likely to become their audience as well. So that can also set up a paid content contributor situation if you are continuously linking to an outside blog or article resource. So that was the third. And the fourth, which provides the most direct revenue for yourself and also the most potential for interaction between you and your audience, is courses and workshops that you yourself put together and run. So these are additional ways that people can learn from you. All right. But let me explain the difference because I didn't know the difference until maybe like 2 years ago. So make sure you know the difference. So a course is something static. You record it, you make it available, it's downloadable, it's on demand. A workshop, however, is fluid. It's something that someone does live with you. So instead of it being pre-recorded and on demand, you're now saying it's going to take place at this time on this day, and we're all going to show up and do it together live with me. So two different offerings that you can make. You can make one, you can make the other, you can do both. But what you're going to do is you're going to create that course or that workshop through whatever platform you're going to create it through. Then you're going to, again, mention it on your show. I either link to it through the show notes directly to the course where they can sign up, or you can create a landing page about the course with more information or video about it or whatever, testimonials if other people have taken it, whatever you want to do, a landing page on your website about it, and then link to that landing page and that through your show notes. Okay. And that will drive traffic to your courses and your workshops. And the benefit is it is direct money, direct income through the sales of your workshops and your courses. So it's direct income into your pocket by once again providing something extra for your audience. All right, now let's end with one more of my daily tips. Remember to follow me on social media so you get all of my daily tips. You don't miss a single one of them, and you get them first. And reach out to me if there's something you want me to give a tip on in particular, or if there's something you want me to talk about on a future episode, or if you are letting this show help your show grow. I would love to know that. And I will actually feature your show on the podcastingyourbrand.com website. So email me for any of that. Jemmy, Jaime, at flintstonemedia.com. I'd be so excited to hear from you and give back however I can, help you become a better podcaster. So, all right, it's producer Jemmy signing off for now. Remember, the only thing more powerful than your voice is your spirit to use it. So turn that mic on.
Hey, it is producer Jemmy with your tip for today. Not the tip I had planned to give you, but a tip that is inspired by real-time events. So I'm sitting outside Mike's son's appointment, which I had to rush out the door to get him up from school and to get him to this appointment on time. So it was a frenzy. And one of the things I had to do before I left the house was recording the episode of Podcasting Your Brand due out tomorrow. No worries. I was prepared for it. It felt good. So I sat down, had a great episode, finished with 1 minute to spare. It was gravy until I looked up and I realized your first tip for the day. Don't forget to hit record. Yes, after 9 years. Second tip, always have a backup. So my backup recorder recorded the audio, so that'll be out on time tomorrow. I'll have to record the video because I forgot. Oh my God. Come back here every day, podcastingyourbrand.com. I'm producer Jemmy.